if you're in business or sales, you've probably experienced the massive swings that come in momentum, and you've probably hit some big highs and then some big lows. Here's how to avoid that. So yesterday I was talking with one of our clients, and we have a weekly sales check-in. I'm actually helping them build out a sales team right now as well, hiring, training up some closers. But anyways, he brought up a very interesting point. He said, dude, like, I know what you mean, because I've been telling him that it is normal and it happens and to expect it. But anyways, he's like, yeah, man, I was like 0 for 10 last week, and then all of a sudden this week I'm like 4 for 4, and then I've made like 20 grand. And it's not the first time. Like before, it's kind of the same thing. Like I think he had like a $21,000 week, and then the next week after he only had like 2 sales calls booked on the calendar, right? So there's these massive fluctuations, these highs and lows, 20K weeks, and all of a sudden like down to 0 the next week. And why does that happen, and how can we avoid that? So we've noticed the same thing with the company as well, with Consulting Blueprint. Like, we just did 200 grand this month. Last month was probably one of our worst months in a long time. We did like just over 100. And anyways, we've had times before where we had like 110K in a single week, like in 7 days. And then all of a sudden the next week it's like down to 25, right? So there's these highs and these lows, and everything in this universe operates on cause and effect, right? So that leads me to kind of do a little bit of searching. And I was like, why does this happen? And there's a book I read last year called Fanatical Prospecting. And in there's the 30-day rule. And essentially it states like the prospecting that you do or don't do within the next 30 days will have an effect on your pipeline and the health of your business for the next 90 days after, right? So essentially what that means is that there's a lag. What you do today, what changes you make, what things you do, what things you don't do will have an impact for the next like 90 days after. So for example, if you are totally bogged down with a ton of sales calls, like on another one-to-one yesterday with one of our clients, Jeremy, he booked 8 sales calls yesterday, and then now he's gonna be really busy taking these sales calls that I imagine like things are probably going to slow down a little bit. He probably won't have the time to be like setting appointments and stuff like that. So that said, like, it's really important to be consistent. Consistency beats intensity every single time, right? So if you can maintain consistency in your marketing, in your prospect, in your appointment setting, that will give you consistency in sales as well. And if you're anything like me, like when I've got 10 hours of sales calls back to back 6 days a week, I'm on it. Those are my calls and I'm absolutely dominated. But then when I have like 1 sales call a day, maybe here and there, then that's when I kind of take like my foot off the gas, and I don't take it as seriously, or at least like my mental state isn't quite like fully there. It's not fully present. So it's really important to have that consistency. And if you can really internalize this, that 30-day rule, then it will help you maintain that consistency in your pipeline and in your business, which will then help you avoid those massive fluctuations, right? So when I look back, like last month, why was it pretty slow? Well, it's because the month before that, like the team was kind of distracted. There was like a live event, like our setter was gone for like 2 weeks, and it had a huge impact on like the following month. But then last month, when everyone got back, we really buckled down and came together as a team. And all of a sudden this month, we absolutely knocked it out of the park. Hit our biggest month yet, right? So there are highs and lows. They do come. It is natural, but there are some ways that we can hedge against that. So if anything, if you take away anything from this video, it's to be consistent, because consistency beats intensity every single time. There will be a lag when you change things up. So prepare to observe the results of what you do today for the next 30, 60, 90 days, because it will have an impact. I remember back when I was scaling my agency, I was doing prospecting for about a month, and then all of a sudden I signed my first client. And then from there, I really took my foot off the gas and I stopped prospecting because I was focusing on delivery. And then it took me another couple months to sign a client, because that took me a few weeks or about a month to like really get solid there. And then I started prospecting again, and then it was like another 30 days until I actually signed a client. And then from there, I signed like 3 new clients, and then I took my foot off the gas again. And then it was just like these big fluctuations, and it was very inconsistent. So if you're taking away anything from this video, consistency beats intensity every single time. And that's what's going to help you build a rock solid foundation with your business that's going to make sure that you're around for a long time. So if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Let me know down below. If you don't already know me, I'm Jeremy Pogue, and I help entrepreneurs that have online service-based businesses like coaches, consultants, agency owners scale up and make a ton of money. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe and follow me over on Instagram too, Jeremy_Pogue. If you got any questions, that's a great place to ask as well. It's pretty responsive on there. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next video.